Weeks after Marjorie Taylor Greene toured the Holocaust Museum and apologized for comparing mask mandates to the Nazi Holocaust, she's decided to go back to saying incredibly offensive and stupid things again. This time, it's in regard to Joe Biden's efforts to encourage people to get vaccinated. Because as we know, if you don't have a vaccinated population, the coronavirus will mutate. You'll have variants like the Delta variant, which kind of, or yes, that is that already a thing? Has that already happened?
Yeah.
Great, awesome. So he's kind of hit this plateau in the number of Americans willing to get vaccinated. So he has now kind of launched this new campaign to encourage vaccinations. Faced with a steep decline in vaccination rates, President Biden announced that his administration would send people door to door, set up clinics at workplaces, and urge employers to offer paid time off, I like that, as part of a renewed push to reach tens of millions of unvaccinated Americans.
God.
So yeah, go ahead.
It's so hard to get people to take necessary free medicine.
I know. One of our viewers, Ryan, made a really great point about all of these incentives that are being provided to people to get vaccinated. And so he's, I believe, a Canadian. And he says, look, the reason why all of these cutesy little incentives are getting under your skin is because of what it communicates to the rest of the world, places where they don't have access to the vaccine. And it's like, we'll take it. If you guys don't want it, we'll take it.
Yeah, no, like think about we covered the Australian lockdown on TDR today. Imagine being in Australia where they've been like super serious and responsible for the most part. And they're super locked down right now. They're really scared about a breakout of the Delta variant. And they're at 9% vaccinated. Because of course it's very difficult to get the doses when the bigger, richer countries buy them all up. And like we just have mountains of it that we're like, please somebody take this shot. And everybody's like, I watched Fox News and so no, sir, I will not.
Well, let's take a look at what American entitlement looks like on the right wing, because it's not just about entitlement, it's also a mix of stupidity and entitlement. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, a member of Congress, tweeted this: Biden pushing a vaccine that is not FDA approved shows COVID is a political tool used to control people. People have a choice. They don't need your medical brown shirts showing up at their door ordering vaccinations. You can't force people to be part of the human experiment, except no one's being forced to do anything.
Wait, you mean that she was wrong?
I mean,
she's gonna be devastated to find this out.
Do we really need to go into brown shirts? I think most people know. But just in case, let's talk about why comparing this effort to brown shirts, the vaccination effort to brown shirts, is ridiculous and reverses any apology that Marjorie Taylor Greene had previously in regard to comparing mask mandates to the Holocaust. So the term brown shirts refers to the paramilitary group that helped facilitate Hitler's rise to power in the 1930s and 1940s. The group bears no resemblance to Biden's plan for targeted outreach to unvaccinated communities in the face of rising concern about the Delta variant. Greene, by the way, also accused Biden of pushing a vaccine that is not FDA approved. All three vaccines in the United States have emergency use authorization from the US Food and Drug Administration and have proven to be safe and effective in clinical trials.
Yeah, so what she's doing there, and what they all do, because they all say it's not FDA approved, is they take the emergency sped up authorization that they simultaneously want you to give Trump credit for. This is a product of Operation Warp Speed, faster FDA authorization. It's not the normal process, but it has been checked out, it is authorized. So yes, Trump, great for doing that, but that's also incredibly suspicious, so I would never take it ever. That's what they want, that's the magic trick that she's doing right there.
If the vaccine received every authorization, every confirmation of safety, it doesn't matter.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care because unfortunately, something as serious as the pandemic has also become part of the culture war narrative. Like everything has turned into a culture war for the GOP. Because like masks didn't need to be a political issue.
Just political, that's all it is.
It's become nothing more than a political issue. It's incredibly frustrating. Now, I wanna go back to Greene's previous apology for doing what she just did in regard to this vaccine effort. So here's her apology after she had toured the Holocaust Museum.
The Holocaust there's nothing comparable to it. It happened, and over 6 million Jewish people were murdered. More than that, there were not just Jewish people, Black people, Christians, all kinds of people, children. There is no I just want to say there is no comparison to the Holocaust, and there never should be, and that's what I'm sorry for.
So she was previously sorry, but then she decided to do the exact same thing again.
There was no comparison except the one that I've already made and the one I'll make in 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, I just, I couldn't think of any other toxic thing to compare, coronavirus efforts to, so I just went with Hitler. Yeah. And I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah. So Francesca raised a great point on the damage report. Do you think that she learned about the brown shirts on that trip to the Holocaust Museum?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
100%, 100%.
So she went there not to evolve and learn about the error of her ways, but to get new material to troll us all.
I see new talking points. I'm very happy. I toured the Holocaust Museum. She's just the worst. She's the worst.
They're not brown shirts. It's volunteers offering medicine that you don't have to take. And that's not what the brown shirts did. I looked it up.
So the Biden administration has kind of responded to what Marjorie Taylor Greene has said there. And I haven't seen this video yet. I've read about it. So maybe I'll change my mind after I watch it. But sometimes I feel like Jen Psaki gets way too much credit for doing the bare minimum. Anyway, so let's watch. Here's her response to it.
What does her statement really say to you?
Well, first I will tell you, we don't take any of our health and medical advice from Marjorie Taylor Greene, so I can assure everyone of that. But also, John, what we're trying to do here as the federal government is protect the American people and save lives, prevent people from getting COVID and the coronavirus. And what we've seen over the course of the last several months is that one of the biggest barriers is access, and people knowing when they can get the vaccine, where they can get the vaccine, the efficacy and safety of the vaccine. It's up to every individual to decide whether they're going to get vaccinated. But especially as we're seeing reports from the CDC about the rise of the Delta variant, one of the most transmissible variants we've seen there, this is about protecting people and saving lives.
Yeah, that was good.
That's fine.
Psaki bomb. I know.
God.
No, that was fine. That was good. That was a strong response.
Yes.
And yeah, no one should be getting medical advice from Marjorie Taylor Greene or the Republican Party, considering the way that they've behaved throughout this entire pandemic, which undoubtedly has led to, hundreds of thousands of Americans dying that did not need to die.
Yeah, and tomorrow there'll be more, in a month there'll be more. And it'll be more and more disproportionately conservatives that will be dying as a result of it. And we live in a sick system where godless lefties like us are begging conservatives to not die. And they're giving us the middle finger because they love the people that tell them to get sick, get their family sick, and then die of a terrible illness. Can I bring up a random thing? It was actually mentioned on Twitch as well, but I swear I was gonna bring it up anyway. So she's like the worst, right? She's about as terrible as a person is in politics right now. So it's randomly, I don't want her to be the only villain. So her being as bad as she can be is calling these volunteers brown shirts. Remember when Chuck Todd called Bernie Sanders supporters online digital brown shirts? Chuck Todd was as bad as Marjorie Greene. And he barely got in trouble for that. For the comparison that she will rightfully be criticized by, possibly by Chuck Todd.
No,
why didn't he get in trouble?
It's such a great point. He didn't get in trouble because, no, it's a great point, and we should talk about it. Let's unpack. You ready to unpack?
I'm ready.
All right. Because Chuck Todd was going after a progressive. He was going after a Democratic socialist in Congress who was running for president. And so when these incredibly vicious talking points are used toward someone on the actual left, unacceptable. When it comes to, by the way, in this case, Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing everything wrong, right? And the reason why she's getting criticism is because the words coming out of her mouth and everything she stands for actually is harmful to people. Both deserve backlash.
Yeah.
Both deserve pushback for those kinds of talking points, right? But I think what gets legacy media outlets even more fired up is Marjorie Taylor Greene is going against a beloved corporate Democrat like Joe Biden, right? She's speaking out against him. Now, again, she's wrong, but he's protected, whereas someone like Bernie Sanders and his base, his base of support is not protected.
Yeah, like there was no claims like Chuck Todd is being anti-Semitic by minimizing the experience of Jews during the Holocaust because he doesn't like tweets he sees sometimes. That's madness. It is when she does it, and it is when Chuck Todd does as well. But he's fine. I honestly don't remember him getting in trouble at all.
No, he didn't get. I mean, we got mad at him.
Yeah. What does that count for?
You know, we were mad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Totally. But
he hid for months.
That is a really good, like it's a good case to juxtapose to how the media is responding to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She deserves it. Yeah. Chuck Todd deserved it as well.
To be fair, let's cancel them both.
Totally, I'm in favor of that. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to our next story though, I just want to give Obi Mom Kenobi a lot of love. She just gifted 50 subs in our Twitch community. 50? 50. 50. Yeah.
Damn.
Not police. Subs. Okay, gifted subs.
Good.
I love it. So thank you, Obi Mom. That's wonderful. We're so appreciative of you and the Twitch community. Everyone, if you haven't checked out our Twitch community, you can do so by going to twitch.tv/TYT.